Hello, hello. I am Coach Coleman coming to you in a masterclass. What I want you guys to do first and foremost, because this is not your average masterclass, right? We're going to laugh a little bit. We are going to have a good time. Please grab your blankets, get comfortable. But before you get too comfortable, grab you a piece of pen, piece of paper, a pencil, something to jot down your thoughts, something to take notes. Why? Because we are going to get active, not only with our hands and our fingers, but with our minds, with our brains. And we want to jot down everything that comes to mind in this masterclass. So if you don't have your pen and paper, take this time now to get your pen, paper, your blanket, get comfortable because we are going to talk and think like we've known each other for years, right? We're going to dive deep and get into it. And also grab a cup of water, grab something to drink while you're at it because I don't want you to get up. Once we start, I do not want you to get up. I want you to have everything in your environment. If you are not in an environment where you can just think and be free, try to go in an environment where you can just sit down and get comfortable. I want you guys to really relax throughout this masterclass, throughout this platform, right? So as I did that introduction, as I gave you the rundown of what to expect, let's talk about the topic. The topic tonight will be code switching. What is code switching? Do you do code switching? Do you perform code switching? I'm pretty sure you do. We all do it. It's very unconscious. We do it within a blink of an eye. We do it as fast as we can snap our fingers. We code switch. Is it something that you're okay with? Is it something that you want to change? Is it something you just don't care about? You don't like it? You didn't know you did. Do it. All right. So code switching is something that we do automatically. Sometimes it can be judgmental, right? So while we are at it, I want you guys to take a time, take a moment, and just write down what you think code switching is to you. Write down if you think you code switch. Write down if you don't think you code switch. You don't know what it is. Take this moment to write something down about code switching. And while some of us are writing it down, some of us are still trying to get our pen, our paper. This is your moment. All right, go ahead, get that done, and give you a few seconds. And then we're just gonna dive right down into it. Have you ever felt like you talk different in different spaces, or you behave differently around certain people? You've been code switching. Okay. If you ever thought about some of those things, I want you to try to take a time out and think about how do you act in a professional setting versus when you're at home with friends and family. Do you dress different? Do you talk different? Do you walk different? Are you the same? Think about it. Make a pros and a cons list. Jot it down. It's okay. That's what we're here to do. We're here to think about these things, right? And now that you've thought about it, you wrote some things down. You have flashbacks. Do you like where you are with this? Are you okay with what you're thinking of? Are you okay with those thoughts? Are you comfortable? Do you know how to balance that? We're gonna get into it. All right. So now we already thought about what it looks like in a professional setting, what it looks like when we're at home. Do we dress different? Do we talk different? Do we wear different hair colors, different hairstyles? Um, we've thought about all that. We've kind of written it down. Do we think about our safety? Do you perform a different way as far as safety? Do you clutch your purse a little more? Do you guys make sure you have safety precautions in place? Right? So I just want you to dive a little deeper beyond the average mindset. Really think deep. It's okay. In this space, in this setting, think deep. We don't want to think about the average. All right? Because you're not average. If you're here, you're not average. So what are some of the benefits of code switching? The benefits can help you in careers. So code switching, some people use a negative connotation with code switching. Oh, you're a sellout, or you're faking, you're not original. But code switching, we all do it. We all do it. So it's okay. And it's beneficial when it comes to professionalism. It's simply saying if you're in a professional setting and you use words like, yo, what's up? Those terms in a professional setting will be a setback. When you're in a professional setting, you will automatically speak with wisdom, or at least attempt to speak with wisdom, right? You always want to level up when it comes to being professional. You want to behave in a certain manner. It's not necessarily being fake or phony. You just know when to speak in an educated, professional manner and when you can let your hair down and relax in a home setting with friends, with family, not with professionals, not with your colleagues. So in that aspect, it's beneficial to code switch, right? Not necessarily changing who you are as a person. If you you're a jokester, you like to tell jokes, still tell your jokes, but you're going to speak a different way. You're going to make sure it's not offensive. You're not going to use slang. You're going to deliver it a certain way, but you're still yourself, right? In a professional setting, for my guys, you may not want to go to a professional setting with your pants hanging low or dirty stains. You want to look nice. You want to look clean. You want to look together, right? So that's beneficial. It's not necessarily code switching. You're just changing it up to match the environment that you're going into, right? And then it enhances you. You're able to adapt to your environment easy, effortlessly when you switch it up. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, guys. And that's why I just want you to see that it's beneficial, that it's okay to code switch. Don't get lost here. I know most of you are probably like, I kind of know this. We know this, but we overlook it. We know this, but we still tell people they're fake or they're phony. So this is just a reminder. We're going to get into it. What are some of the challenges? You can feel like you're exhausting. You're exhausted. Like, I always got to pretend to do something or be something I'm not. That's where you're wrong. You're not something that you're not. Like I said earlier, you're still you. You still have your personality. You're just changing the deliverance because you're in a different environment. That is all. And sometimes code switching can lead to conflict just because of those who want to call you fake and phony, right? Nobody wants to be called fake and phony. Nobody. So it can lead to something negative. But that's why we're talking right now, so you can know how to deliver that conversation. When someone says you're being fake, you're phony, you're switching it up, no, honey, I'm correcting my deliverance. I am simply in a different environment where I have to behave a certain way. Right? Right. Just an etiquette. You have etiquette skills. That is all. And just being self-aware of who you are at all times. At all times. Because now you are authentic. No matter if you're at home with friends and family, no matter if you're at a job or a professional setting, you are still authentic because you are still your humble self. You are still embracing your characteristics, embracing who you are. We are just changing the deliverance due to the environment. I hope you guys are keeping up and that makes sense. because we're going to teach you how to make sure we still have that balance. Because sometimes we do get lost in the sauce. Sometimes we can't catch the wave. And code switching, some people do lose their identity. You know, some people do forget where they came from. Some people forget where they're trying to go. So it is easy to get lost. It is easy to lose your identity in some cases. But when you know who you are, when you are authentic about you, no matter where you are in what setting, and you're just changing the deliverance of how you approach things, of how you dress, or you're changing the deliverance of your word choice, but you're still you. You still have your personality, your characteristics. You have not forgotten who you are. So that's the important piece of this masterclass. I just want that to be very direct. That is the key component of this masterclass, is being true to you, being true to yourself, and identifying who you are if you have not already identified who you are. Because that's what's going to keep this component balanced. That's what's going to allow you to be able to code switch and still be true to yourself and not be considered a sellout or a fake person or not authentic. All right? And, you know, like I said, it's easy to get lost in the sauce. It's easy to lose your identity sometimes. I'm just going to refer back to some things people would say when an individual tends to do well and be successful. Old friends or old family would say, oh, you changed. You're a different person. Money changed you. Oh, you think you're better than me. Sometimes you're this and sometimes you're that. Right? It happens. It happens. And some people struggle with, no, I'm still the same person, and they don't know how to articulate those emotions or how to regulate that change because you're going through the transition. Some of you may be going through that transition right now, right? Some of us may have felt like we overcame it, but you always have that little person in the background, or maybe just yourself in the back of your head, being your biggest critic, downing yourself. But I do have a novel for you all. I definitely have a novel, and it's called In Between Two Worlds, because sometimes it feels like you are in between two worlds when trying to navigate this balance, when trying to code switch at the appropriate time while being true to yourself. So with this novel that I have, it's a guide. You can write in it. It helps you navigate through this transition. But we're going to talk more about transitioning and being true to ourselves. You're going to learn how to always, always, always know your audience when creating this balance. And when I say know your audience, knowing the difference between a friend, associate, and a coworker. 3 different things. Because sometimes we work with people and we tend to think, oh, this is my friend. That's not your friend. That is a coworker. So always keep it professional, never personal. Sometimes we think friends, and really they're just an associate. We hang out here and there, but that's not a friend. You still don't let your hair down. Why? Because at the end of the day, that friend will always look at you, or should I say that associate will always look at you in a professional way. As soon as you do something that's out of character, they're looking at you different, like, ooh, I didn't think he or she would do that. Because you code switched too early. They didn't understand your authentic you. But your friend gonna understand. Your friend will understand that, hey, I respect you when you're in a professional setting, and I respect you when we're just hanging out where you can let your hair down. Because they know you're authentic at all times. An associate, still confused. Are you my friend or are you professional? They're trying to figure it out. That's why they're an associate. And you still be true to yourself. You still be you. But you have to know your audience. You have to identify, is this a friend or an associate? And then co-workers, it's pretty easy, right? You work with them. Keep it professional at work. Do not try to mix the two. Because at the end of the day, that is a co-worker, meaning when it comes to work, it comes to work. And I don't care if you're a lawyer, doctor, if you work in McDonald's, Burger King, fast food, you do Uber or Lyft, I don't care. Professionalism is professionalism, and you do not mix that with friendships. Now, it's different if you were a friend first and you so happen to work in a setting together. Because in professional settings, let's be honest, there's a lot of backstabbing. And maybe not intentionally, but hey, I don't want to lose my job. So yeah, I'm gonna tell on you. I don't want to lose my job, and I know you're doing something unethical, and you told me what you were doing that was unethical, and now my job is on the line. I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell someone. I'm going to probably judge you a little bit because we're co-workers, and code switching doesn't work in that environment too well. So if you're going to code switch in a professional setting, keep that switch on professionalism. And if you're going to code switch while being at home with a friend, keep that switch in a friendship zone where you can let your hair down, right? And if you're going to code switch with a associate, tricky part, remain balanced and know this is not a friend, nor is this a foe, but this is an associate who can possibly become a friend, but at this moment, it's an associate. So still be true to who you are, still be corny, still joke, or you can still, if you're that mean girl, mean boy, rude, hey, do that. But still be true to yourself. Allow your characteristics to be shown. If you're stern and sturdy, stay stern and sturdy. Let your hair down with your friend. Professionalism, same thing. If you always wear suits, if you always wear a tie, if you always wear professional dress, continue to do that with an associate in your professionalism, right? Don't switch it up too much. Know when to switch it up. All right, so know your audience. Key term, know your audience to keep that balance without losing any respect and being authentic to yourself. And just own your uniqueness, your language, your culture, right? Because when you're being authentic to yourself, your personality, your characteristics, if you, like me, I like my hair done. I'm going to switch it up all the time. And everyone will know that, okay? I can't change that for anyone. But because I'm a professional person and being authentic in my truth and myself, although I may change the way I deliver things, but my appearance, this is who I am, right? So it doesn't matter what setting I'm in. However, the pink hair, the blue hair, green colors, that's not me. So you will not get that in a professional setting. You will not get that in being my associate. You will not get that as my friend. Now, you know, if you have a wow moment, you want to just switch it up for one day, that's with a friend, right? But you as a person don't change, right? It's just an occasion. So that refers back to when I said different environments is when you can switch it up. I hope I'm not confusing anyone. If so, feel free to reach out to me for a one-on-one. We can talk it through. We can work it out because everybody's situation is different. There's not one person the same. Never. And then we just want to make sure that your uniqueness is not taken away. So let's piggyback on it. Let's refresh our minds. So, key points. being authentic, being true to yourself. Know your audience, which is knowing your environment. Be unique. I know you guys hear it. I'm from the country. I'm from the South. You're going to hear that. No matter how proper I try to speak, no matter where I go, you're going to hear that, right? And that's me. That's my uniqueness, right? But I'm still going to be myself, no matter where. I've just changed my deliverance, but my voice, my tone, my accent is there. My appearance, the way I like to dress, it's there, right? That's who I am. That's what you're going to get. But the deliverance will always switch it up. With my friends, I may say, hey girl. At work, hi, how are you doing? Associate, so what's going on? You know, different approach, different deliverance. Same meaning. In all three ways, I still said hi. Right? But you just switch it up sometimes. And it's automatic. So, jot that down if you need to. If anybody have any questions about this, it's a little confusing. Once again, do not be afraid to reach out to me. Reach out to me on my website, on Instagram, on Facebook. Please do so. All right? So, think about it. Would you identify code switching as a tool? Something you can utilize? Because it is. It's definitely a tool. And sometimes it's also required. And code switching to me, I would say it builds confidence. You got to be a confident person. You have to have confidence to walk in a room and code switch and I'm here, right? So, and to have that confidence, y'all already know what I'm going to say. To have that confidence, you need to be authentic. You need to know who you are and own who you are at all times. So let's take a moment. Go ahead. We're using a pen. We're using a paper. Who are you? 3 points. And if you really know who you are, 5 points. Write down 5 to, or let's say 3 to 5 characteristics of who you are. How would you describe yourself to someone else? How do you think someone else would describe you to a room full of people who don't know you? What makes you unique? Think about it. Write it down. And if some of you code switch a lot, you're starting to notice you code switch a lot. I want you to write down 3 bullet points, 3 points of a person at your job. How would they describe you? How would they identify you? How do you think your associates will identify you? And now, how do you think your friends and family would identify you? Now, you're writing down bullet points in 3 different categories. Are they the same? Or are they different? Do you like what you wrote down? Or is there something you want to change? Maybe you want to improve. Maybe you want to take some stuff out. What are you writing down and how do you feel about it? Do you like that person? Because if you don't, we can work on it. We definitely can work on it. Because it starts within. I'm gonna need you to like yourself. I'm gonna need you to have that confidence. And that's how you're gonna be authentic. And when you're authentic, you can balance that code switching. Easy. No matter where you are or where you go or who you talking to. I hope y'all grasping the concept, grasp that concept, because this is some real stuff that people really struggle with that can be easily turned around. Easy turned around. You just got to put the work in. And sometimes having accountability partner, having somebody to talk to, talk you through it, work with you through it helps. And some people like to self-pace. So once again, I do have a novel on Amazon, In Between Two Worlds, where it helps you navigate that transition. Helps keep you balanced, keep you straight. And I also have a journal, a self-care journal. It goes hand in hand with the novel. It'll make it way easier to keep track of. And then some people like all three. They like the journal, they like the novel, and they like the one-on-one sessions with myself. So we can talk about what's written in the journal, how to actually navigate that novel the correct way. And some people have an outcome that they see that blows their mind within 3 months. 3 months different. And you see how I did that? Snap of the finger? Because it can be just like that. Just like that. But yeah, you got to do the work. You got to start somewhere, and you got to identify what we like, what we don't like. What needs to change? Are we okay with it? So I'm going to review this one more time. All right, so key components: being authentic, true to yourself. That's the end goal, right? And then who's the audience? Who is our audience? What environment are we in? Right? And we're gonna do that inner work. Always. It never stops. Never stops. You should never stop growing. You should never stop elevating. And when that happens, confidence. Be true to yourself. Code switching is okay. And that's what we're gonna end this with. So remember, reach out to me. And also, I do have free events every month. Every month there is a free online virtual event. So yes, y'all go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms. My name is Coach Coleman. I am easy to find. Once again, visit me on my website, Better You Solutions, and also check out the novel on Amazon. It's called In Between Two Worlds. Once again, you can look me up, Labrina Coleman, Coach Coleman. I'm here.